Happy International Women's Day. Wow, the theme for this year is break the bias. Break the bias. And what's mean of bias is an inclination or prejudice against a person or a group of people. And so yesterday I was speaking in the panel, and they asked me, okay, so what can the system do to break the prejudice against women? And my answer was this. I said, first of all, let's start from ourselves, the women here and all the women in leadership, or every woman actually, to ask yourself, what are the biases I have against other people? What are the biases I have of people that don't look like me? Biases against people that don't come from the same part of the world or country I come from. Biases against people that don't live in the same neighborhood that I do. Biases against people that are not as educated as I am, or that don't have the same point of view or life point of view like I do. Those are biases. How can I break those biases? And the first thing first is to know that you have those biases before you talk about breaking them. Because it's easy to look at other people and say they are biased, but are you biased? Are you biased? And if we're going to be truthful to ourselves, everyone has their own biases. I, including myself, I have my own biases. But if you keep looking outwards, then we'll give people power over us. But when we want to own our own power, is to start from looking inwards and looking at myself and asking myself, what can I change in myself, first of all? What are the biases I have and how can I change them? How can I be conscious of it when it shows up? And taking time to really break those biases and see what can I do to make those changes. If you're a leader, in your own team you're leading, or in your own community, in your own organizations, what are the biases that you have or others have, and how can you break them? How can you speak up for people that are being biased against? How can you speak up for them? If you're going to break the bias, let's start from ourselves. Let's look inwards. Let's ask the tough questions and have the tough conversations with ourselves. Because there are biases everywhere. Biases against women, biases against women of color, biases against someone that doesn't look like you, biases against even yourself, because sometimes you believe some stories that are not true about yourself. So you believe some things that are not true, and you what's the right one? You hold them tight, and those things hinders you from moving forward. What are the biases you have? Ask yourself that tough question. Anyway, happy International Women's Day.